Hey everyone, it's day 102. It's easy to keep track now because day 100 was Saturday. But I think going from here on out, because I haven't been vlogging every day, I'm going to go by weeks. So I am at week 8 in a couple days. Uh, yeah, I mean, I guess it's good news that things are starting to slow down with changes that are happening, although that won't be the case tomorrow. Uh, but I have a new member on my team, Jen, so I wanted to touch base today. So I was approved to start physical therapy at 6 weeks, but my appointment was more like 7, so I'm pushed back that way. Anyway, I just got off the phone a little while ago with a physical therapy place, and the woman that I spoke to has extensive knowledge about like the lymphatic system and what happens to um, like your muscles after mastectomies. And she was interested in like the, having prepectoral versus subpectoral implants. And I'm like, okay, this woman knows what she's talking about. And she plays tennis, which is good because she knows like what I need to be able to do to get back to like full gen. So it was a really good conversation. So just as a basis for how I'm going to be running the vlogs now, because I don't find it necessary to be doing this every day at this point. Honestly, there are days where I just don't want to think about it. And I'm trying to go back to as much normal life as I can. My boobs constantly remind me that I can't do that. But I also did get my hair colored today, so why would I not vlog on a day that I got my hair colored and cut? I haven't had it cut. Oh gosh, I haven't had it cut since before surgery. Holy cow. I am using my right arm. Why I'm doing that, I have no idea, and that was probably a mistake, so I'm going to switch right now. So just to fill you in on where I am, I did have my bra burning ceremony on Saturday, but I did not share that. I'm realizing that I'm having more boundaries with this whole thing than I thought I was going to. I am an open book, but I'm understanding that there's certain things that I just need to keep to me, not information wise. I mean, obviously I want to share that, but after all these 102 days, I usually just like turn the, press on. This is on, right? Yeah. Press on, and then I just start filming. But I did a vlog when I was doing my exercises up against the wall, and I realized that you could, with the shirt I was wearing, you could see sort of the line of my scar, but you could see like the little, it's very small, like indentation kind of like where the scar is, because, it's not like perfectly round with a scar there. And honestly, it weirded me out. I mean, I see it and I don't think much of it, but I'm like, that's something that I don't really want the world out there to see. And I took a picture with my boobs and I put a level on them, and I thought it was funny, but it was actually pretty accurate with how with how level my boobs are, given that my right side still has to settle. But I don't really know if I want that up there either. I'm becoming much more protective over myself, I guess. There's definitely like an interesting roller coaster of emotions that are going on. And I am noticing a lot of side effects. I don't know if it's hormonal. It's hard to tell because at this age you don't know if it's perimenopause. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with the tamoxifen, because I've been like angry and punchy, like really angry. Like I want to punch a wall. I'm so mad. And I'm not usually like that at all. I hear myself going on these tirades, and twice this week I paced in my apartment. I'm not a pacer. So I'm like, what is happening with me? When did I become so angry and disgruntled? Today when she was coloring my hair, I'm like, if you want to go black, you can go black, because I'll go into my goth phase again. And she's like, well, so she worked with what I had. It looks really light here. I would flip it, but my right arm is really bothering me today. So what I will say is my day 100 was fantastic, and that exercising vlog I'm not going to put up there. I'll share with you on another day when I get changed, whatever, especially as I'm going through physical therapy now, what the exercises are like and where I am with the whole thing. But yeah, I would say that as much as I want to share stuff, I'm at a point where I'm very protective of my body. Um, I'm protective about when people say things that I don't think they mean anything harsh with what they say, but what they say does hurt. And mostly is kind of belittling. And I don't think they realize that what they're saying is belittling. And I own up that I feel like I was like that too when, breast cancer is so common now. And it's like when you say you have breast cancer, it's almost like saying, oh, it's raining outside in Chicago or something, or Seattle. I don't know. It doesn't have as much of a response because it's so common. Wow, notice that my hand's shaking. What is that about? This tamoxifen, man? I don't know what is happening. I don't know what is happening with me. Oh my gosh. My hand was shaking. That was so weird. So strange. I don't know. So what I am noticing with the tamoxifen, by the way, as I'm all over the place, as usual, so night sweats, yes, they're not horrendous anymore, but I wonder, so I did get my period this morning. It's only the second one I've had since surgery, and the one after surgery was awful. I vlogged about this when it happened, but it was like I was passing blood clots for like 5 days or something, and I couldn't even really leave my apartment. Every time I shifted, there was like another clump of blood that came out. And I have my first, oh, see, like I just moved like that. And like, it's like, boom. So tomorrow I get my first Lupron injection. And I can't wait. Because I'm hoping when I get that Lupron injection, it's going to be like, oh, wait a minute, sisters down there. Let's calm down that bleeding and make it all go away. And I can't wait until that process gets started. Oh my gosh. And, I understand why I have the bleeding, and it sucks. I have to consciously think about how much fluid I'm drinking, to make sure I'm not losing too much liquid. I have to think about, okay, do I want a burger to make up for the iron that I'm missing out on, or a steak or something? It's crazy. The night sweats aren't super bad anymore. I still have them, but I don't know how much that was tied in with the fact that I just got my period too. So it's hard to know, what's premenstrual and what's because of the medication. I'm pretty sure it's from the medication because it wasn't like this before. Yeah, I've been really, really punchy. I don't know quite what that's about. Well, and there's been extenuating circumstances that's been about. For example, like I still am not, I'm doing better with driving. I have to say that, like I've been able to drive around town, not for long periods. I really have not gone outside of like my town, but I don't have, as much difficulty with driving. I feel pretty safe driving, but I wouldn't feel safe if I was driving any place like far. But that seems to get better. You definitely have to practice that. I think the more I'm behind the wheel, the more those muscles just get to moving. And because I was doing that today, getting my hair cut, that's why my arm hurts. I'm going to have to go back to the shaky hand. I don't know why my hand's shaking. So yeah, so the driving's gotten better. I haven't been walking in big chunks as much, for the, American Cancer Society 35-mile challenge or whatever it's called. But I have been, walking less over the past couple days, but I've been going to other things. Like my son had a marching band competition, and I didn't drive, but I did walk like from the parking lot up to where the competition was, and I didn't have to like pause to breathe or whatever. I don't think. I felt more normal about that. I didn't feel weird sitting. It was the first time I sat on bleachers where I didn't have to sit on the last row, because I didn't need to have the back support. I could, consciously sit up. I have to say one thing I went back to today, which I should have been doing all this time and hadn't been, is meditating. This morning when I got up, sleeping is still hard. My back has been fine. It's just my boobs just feel so freaking heavy. And I'm trying to sleep on my left side, and because that's normally how I would sleep, and I just can't get comfortable. Um, I end up like falling asleep, and then I'm up, and then it's just my schedule is just off because I just can't get comfortable. I've been wearing like tank tops, like my old tank tops that have a wider strap, but they're form-fitting. So they're not super tight. It's just enough to keep me in, but still like let them have some space to move. And that's been the most comfortable like clothing I've been wearing for sleep. Wearing a bra just gets itchy, especially with the zippers in the front. I did start wearing my bralettes, which I totally forgot that I even had, when I had the biopsies before all this stuff happened. I figured since my breasts are actually somewhat smaller, that having the bralette would be a perfect thing to go back to now that I can pull. I can't get over my head still, but I can pull it up from underneath. So I tried putting the bralette on, but the way my boobs are shaped now, they're more, I guess before when they were kind of saggy, they were more moldable. Now that they're more like, not firm, but like, a defined shape, they're too big for the bralette, which is interesting because I'm a smaller, not a smaller cup size, but like I'm a smaller size. So I find it interesting. But bralettes, would be a good way to go. Obviously the ones that I have don't fit. You can get like a pack of 3 at like Marshall's for like $15 or something. You don't have to spend a lot on them. But it was a comfortable thing that I could do. I just have to ask someone if they can go, to Marshall's for me and pick them up. Actually, I know who I could ask. I have to say too that I'm having a harder time finding people to help with things. I know some people that I'm good friends with are going through tough times themselves, but I have not. Today was the first time I had someone sign up to help with groceries in a while, and I don't have anyone signed up to help with groceries from now until I go back to work. And I go back to work in just under 4 weeks because I'm at 8. I'm going into the 9th week now. So it seems like it's around the corner when I go back to work. Excuse me. Yeah, so I have to get back on the ball with things, but like I just physically can't lift bags, let alone up 36 steps to get to my apartment. So one of the nice things about when the physical therapist called just before, we had a great conversation on the phone. And I said, yeah, and she said too, like she asked what kind of exercises I did beforehand. Like, did I go to the gym? And I'm like, no, I have a gym at the apartment, but haven't really been in it. I'm not a gym kind of person. But I told her I play tennis and she plays tennis, which is great. Because she'll know like what I, need to be able to do with my arm. But stuff as simple as like picking up a grocery bag and being able to take them up the stairs. So there's lots of services out there like Instacart and Amazon Prime and whatever. I have had 3 really bad weeks in a row with Instacart. Today, there's just an overriding thing right now. I don't quite get what it is. The unemployment rate is not that high anymore. It's dropped substantially, with COVID and the pandemic and all that stuff. But there are not enough people out there in businesses. Places are understaffed ridiculously in a variety of different places. Food service, Instacart, nursing, whatever. So like today, I got everything all set. I had somebody who was ready to pick up my groceries And I purposely picked an earlier time slot, figuring it's better if they're done early because at least it'll be there. And they were an hour and a half late. And, then that puts her in a bind where I'm asking her to sit in a parking lot for a freaking hour waiting for them to grocery shop. And I didn't even know because they started grocery shopping when she was already in the parking lot. And they said they just don't have enough shoppers to go pick up your stuff. So even if I had done delivery or something, I mean, they could bring it up, but like, I'd like to just be able to go out grocery shopping on my own, but I just can't. You have to I have to choose consciously what I'm going to be doing to use my arms in any given day so that I can get through the day. And granted, I'm able to do more than I was before. Like today, I chose to go get my hair colored because it was going gray and to get it cut because it's been whatever, clearly more than 102 days since I got my hair cut. I don't remember what it was. It's been a while. And I didn't have any doctor's appointments today. But then I got lunch after and then picked up my son from school. So, lunch wasn't anything like big. It was just that I needed to eat food before, and I didn't want to drive all the way home and then all the way back to pick up my son. But just being around and carrying like the lunch to the table and then eating it with, utensils and stuff, all of that takes energy with your right hand. And it adds up. And then granted, my son did drive home, but like my arm was beat at that point. And then I get back here and everything gets dropped off late. So I'm unloading. And right now there's 5 bags of groceries by my kitchen, non-perishables, but I'm like, I can't unload them because if I do, my arm will be killing me and I won't be able to sleep. So right now it's just going to need to sit there. Like I said, they're non-perishables. They can just sit there in the bags because I just can't do it. I know the line of overdoing and when I hit that point, I'm out of commission. So there's no point. So, I'm skipping my exercises today because it's just going to be too much. I felt like I stretched enough in the things that I did, which is fine. I'm really looking forward to starting PT. Tomorrow's a busy day, so I get my first Lupron shot tomorrow. I have to call first thing in the morning to get in to see the physical therapist to find a time. And fortunately, they're right next to where I live, so I don't need the car to get there. I can literally walk there. So if she has a cancellation, I could just be like, be there in 5 minutes and just hop over, which is really convenient. And even when I go back to work, I'll be able to do PT and then go to work or vice versa, whatever. It's just convenient that it's right there. But I'm looking forward to it because she seems like she knows what she's doing and she's done this before and she gets what the limitations are. And I liked that she wasn't tough about the whole thing. Like she acknowledged that, I hear, oh, you're 8 weeks and it takes 6 to 8 weeks to heal. So I should be healed. And the increasing amount of people that say, oh, Jen, you look great. You'd never know anything happened, whatever. I guess that's supposed to be a compliment, but the look great part is a compliment, but not when you say that it looks like nothing ever happened. Because holy shit, did a lot of stuff happen. And yeah, you're not going to see that when you look at me from the outside. I've lost weight, yes. So yeah, thank you. I look good because I lost the weight. Not all of it, but still a lot. And, but I'm like, you're not going to see what it looks like underneath to know that every time at night, I've been crying so much in these vlogs lately. Every time at night when I go to get changed, it's like my arm is so sore and it's such a freaking project to get out of my clothes. And then when you're finally out of your clothes, you're like, ah. And then you look in the mirror and I'm like, oh yeah, there they are. And I want to put stuff on them to help with the scarring so it gets lighter faster because I have no patience to wait. 6 months seems like forever. But I just don't, I want the scars to just be lighter. I wish they weren't so dark. But the physical therapist said to me, she's like, she's like, even if it's 9 weeks, she's like, it's only 9 weeks. She's like, what you had done was a lot to your body. And I'm sort of being forced to, I have on my to-do list to go through and actually still finish reading all of the after summaries for everything. But when like I go to physical and talk to the physical therapist and she's asking me, how many lymph nodes were out and what, did they do this and blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, well, I really need to know this information because, she's not linked in with the hospitals. They're a private company. And I intentionally did that. Yeah, I have to do my gen homework to understand all the little things that they're going to be asking me about. Anyway, yeah, I'm just not feeling, I feel like a machine right now. I'm not feeling womanly at all. I've been connecting with some people that while I speak to them, I feel womanly and pretty and reminds me of like how much fun I was and all this other stuff and I feel really good and I laugh and I smile and I feel empowered. And then as soon as the conversation's over, I'll get a ping of tightness or something, or just like I'll shift and realize that, yeah, like I feel my boobs all the time. Every time I shift, I feel them. Yeah, I mean the moments are great of empowerment are great, but they're fleeting. And yeah, there's less people around helping. And once I go back to work, that's in less than a month, and then it's like, oh, look how normal things are again. And it's like, no, they're not normal. And part of me is even worried when I go back to work, like it'll be nice to see people come into the studio and stuff again, because I like to see people. But I'm starting to not like seeing people. Not certain people, like certain people I want to see. But like people in general, when they don't have the right things to say, it's like, I don't want to, like, can you just stop talking? Because you're just not being a human right now to me, so just please shut up. And it's one thing to say that when it's just me, it's a whole other thing of what I can or can't say when I'm at work, because I need to be professional. I'm not going to get into my whole story when I'm like at work. But, yeah, I just like wonder what will things be like when I'm at work and people ask what happened or whatever. I saw someone today who the last time I saw her was before my surgery, but after I was diagnosed. And I saw her and told her what was happening and said, I'll be out of work for a while because I used to see her a lot. She works at one of the places I go to eat lunch a bit. And I said, I'm not going to be here for a while because, I'll be out of work for, at the time, I thought it was like 8 weeks. And then I saw her today and I guess I looked good because of my hair or whatever. Like I had a mask on so she couldn't tell, whatever. But, I've got my camouflage compression pants on. One weird thing, by the way, that I don't want to forget. So when I did the bra burning on Saturday, I mentioned that I was wearing these black combat boots. They're like super comfortable. I've had them for years. They're pretty worn. It's not like they're tight or new. My feet were not swollen at all. When I got home and I took my shoes and socks off, I had this huge black and blue mark on my foot, which was kind of concerning because I don't remember, like I'm not around people like in my face that would have like stepped on me or something. And Lord knows I would have known if I dropped something on my foot because it would have been a lot of pain. And if I had pain on my foot, I'm going to have pain on my chest too. I have no idea how I got it. And then I started getting all freaked out that, oh my God, is this a blood clot or something? I don't know. I still don't even know. But like, I'm here and I'm fine. I assume my pupils are okay. Are they okay? yeah, it was just really bizarre. And then I just watched it and it got lighter. It's still there, but I have no idea where that came from. I'm not wearing those shoes. I don't know what the heck that was all about. It's just a weird thing. But it makes you like notice every little thing on your body when something is wrong and you're on a medication like the tamoxifen where you can, have these side effects where you're not sure what's because of what. So I see this startling black and blue mark on my foot and I got kind of freaked out. Um, every time I look in the mirror and, I or get out of the shower or whatever it is, like it's a constant reminder that something's up. Aside from the fact that I can feel, even like right now, I'm not even moving and I can feel my boobs and how tight they are. Um, but when I know that will take time and it will go away and they'll get softer and they'll drop and then they'll be okay, whatever. And in a year, my boobs will look spectacular. But right now, I can't see it. And I know that's normal. But when I look in the mirror and I see the scars and I feel like I'm just a machine, I'm not a person, I'm just a machine who has to get things done. That's what I feel like. I'm a machine who has to drink so much water and calculate how much water I drink so that the rest of my body can function. It's all just like I don't feel human-like. And when something just is not going my way, I am just like losing my patience hardcore. And maybe like there's a lesson in that of like not taking shit from people, which I've gotten much better at, but I've become very protective over myself, like I said. And yeah, I've just been really, like don't mess with me to the point of being angry. And it's just interesting because I'm not usually an angry kind of person. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. I'm just riding this friggin' roller coaster. You don't know what to expect from whatever. I find the emotions interesting because I'm not used to seeing myself like get that angry. Um, yeah, and protective. It's almost like I'm my own child. The way I would act as someone like mess with my kids, like that's how I feel with me. And I don't know, maybe there's a life lesson in that. That's the way you should be with yourself, you know? I don't know, whatever. I don't know. So I'm gonna just chill for a bit and then dread getting ready for bed because sleeping is such a pain in the ass. Such a pain in the ass. Oh, but the meditation, which I forgot to get to. The meditation, I should never have stopped doing that because this morning when I got up, I took my little cushiony thing, whatever, and I sat by the window in my room and I put on my Calm app and meditated for like 10 minutes or something. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that I used to do this all the time. And simply the fact of sitting on the bolster, like crisscross applesauce, but it forces your body to sit up straight and have like, and I automatically just get into like that yoga position where like you're sitting up straight, pretend like there's a string on your head pulling your head up, and then like I roll my shoulders back, and I just get in that position. And rolling your shoulders back is like a very distinct exercise to do because of all of this stuff. But it makes me feel more normal being in that position because I would do that all the time when I was meditating. And then as I'm going through and I'm realizing I'm just stopping and listening and more so just being, not even regardless of what the topic was of whatever the guided meditation was, I need to stop forgetting to meditate because that 10 minutes, I can't remember now what the point was of what the topic was that he was talking about, but whatever it was, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go into my day with that. And obviously it didn't stick with me, but the point was like, I was just much more aware. And I had my haircut appointment I left at like 10:30. It was pretty early. But I was not in pain at all up until 10:30, which was kind of a record. Like I had no tightness, I had nothing. And in that time, I ate, I showered, all that. I didn't wash my hair, but I showered. And usually, there were points, obviously, where I'm trying to dry myself with a towel where it hurts because I'm reaching back, and reaching back is just not working for me yet. But I overall felt less pain. So I just have to consciously remember to meditate in the morning. There's just a lot to remember. I've been walking, so I haven't been meditating. You know, you can't do everything. So give myself a break. All right, so I'm going to give you guys all a break right now. That was a little self-deprecating. I'm going to let you guys go back to whatever you were doing before. And then check in. So tomorrow's my first Lupron shot. I have an appointment with the social worker, which will be great. And I have a third appointment I can't even remember now. I don't know. It's been a lot. The copays are adding up. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know. And then I'll have hopefully physical therapy. If not this week, definitely next week. And then I'll try to do another video where I'm wearing a shirt that's not super bright and maybe with a sports bra on this time and a tank top so that you can see the exercises, but have it be something that I'm comfortable with you seeing. Boundaries are a good thing. All right. Good night, everyone. Good morning, whatever time it is. Have a good day. Bye.